Hello, welcome to the first episode of 5 Minute ESOL. This is my first episode and I'm so happy you are joining me. My name is Cynthia and I am an elementary school teacher who is passionate about multilingual learners, especially the ones who have experienced interrupted schooling back in their countries. If you are looking for quick, easy, research based strategies to try in your classroom, you're in the right place. After listening to this podcast, you will feel confident and successful teaching all levels of multilingual students. So let's get started with today's episode. Today, we will be discussing one strategy you can try with your recently arrived students that may not feel confident sharing aloud their thinking or an answer just yet. This strategy is called hold-ups, and I have been using it for years, even before I became an ESOL teacher. I used it in the classroom when I was teaching Spanish. So you can really use it anywhere with a whole class or with a small group. So, anyway, I learned about this strategy from a book I really recommend titled Total Participation Techniques by Persida and William Himmele. Not sure if I'm saying their last name correctly, but that's their book, and it's really, really great. If you can get a copy, I really recommend that. So, what is holdups? Basically, you give each student a sign to hold up. You can make your own sign or you can use index cards. When I make my signs, I use the front and back. For example, I would write true or false or yes or no on each side of my sign. These are pretty simple. However, depending on your questions, the questions you're asking your students, you could choose other types of answers for your holdups. So once you give your students their holdups, you pose a question. It can be questions about what they have been learning, or it can be a check-in question. You can use holdups in many, many ways. So after you show them the question, all of your students hold up their signs or their answer. And that way, every student participates even if they are not speaking. One reason I love holdups is because it gives everyone an opportunity to participate and share. Newcomers get to build their confidence, or even shy students in your classroom. And that gets them ready and more confident and comfortable to maybe share their thinking or share aloud later. One suggestion is to keep doing this activity regularly in your classroom. So that way it's part of your teaching routine and students know it's coming up and they can feel more and more confident as you guys keep using it in the classroom or the small group. Another way I've done this strategy is using index cards. I gave them 3 or 4 index cards with different answers. And one time I did holdups for probability lesson. And I wrote on each card words like certain, probably likely, unlikely, and so on. You get the idea. So I asked them a question about probability, and students had to pick their card and hold it up. So that's another way you can do it. If you teach all their students, they could make their own holdups, and that way you're including writing into your holdup activity. So why use holdups? It engages everyone in the class or group. It provides language models for your recently arrived students. It is a great way to check in if your students are understanding a concept or a topic. It can be used in any content area, in any class, art, science, math, music, anything you want to try in your classroom or you teach. It involves speaking, listening, reading, and writing. Writing, if you make your students, if you have your students make their own cards, or if you can even create a follow-up activity that goes with the hold-ups. So it involves all language domains, which is great to have when you have English language learners in your classroom. If you try hold-ups with your students, let me know how it goes and share with everyone else that's listening to this podcast. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Facebook at All About ELD. Thank you so much for listening today, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Until next time, bye.